Food as a gateway. How ritual control enters through meals. You think they're feeding you, but they're feeding on you. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and this is the Ritualistic and Occult Elements series. Today's video is going to address one of the most hidden, overlooked, and spiritually loaded forms of targeting in the entire gang stalking structure: food-based control. If you've ever wondered why your symptoms started after a meal, why you felt compelled to keep eating with people who made you sick, or why every family dinner felt like a trap, you're not imagining it. When you are a targeted individual, especially in occult bloodline families, food is never just food. It becomes a tool, a gateway, a spiritual contract disguised as a meal. And in many cases, it is the way they bind you, weaken you, monitor you, and harvest you, all while pretending to care for you. Let's start with the first and most important point. Food is spiritual. All through ancient cultures, meals were sacred. From biblical communion to tribal offerings to ancestral altars, what you eat, who prepares it, and who you share it with carries energetic weight. Eating is not just a biological act. It is an act of energetic agreement. What you consume is allowed into your field. When you eat what someone gives you, especially if they are a ritual handler, you are saying, on an energetic level, I trust you to nourish me. And if that food is laced, cursed, poisoned, or spiritually inverted, you are not just swallowing toxins. You are accepting a contract. In occult systems, this is one of the cleanest, easiest ways to bypass your natural defenses, especially if you are intuitive, spiritually gifted, or hard to control through direct confrontation. Because food bypasses logic, it taps into survival instinct. And if you were raised by handlers, you were likely trained, from birth, to eat what you were given without question. Now let's get more specific. Many TIs experience unexplained health symptoms that build slowly over time. Things like sudden food intolerances, sleep disruptions right after meals, bloating, inflammation, or digestive shutdowns, feeling drugged, dizzy, or euphoric after drinking something they didn't prepare, long naps or total knockouts following specific meals or snacks. These are not random. These are signs of chemical suppression. In my own case, I now look back at a 6-month period of my life where I was being brought coffee every morning by a family member. At the time, I thought it was kindness. I was working nonstop, trying to complete a major body of work. I assumed they were just showing support. But what started as minor symptoms, things like cold limbs, purple skin below the knees, and sluggishness, escalated fast. Soon, I was passing out for up to 18 hours a day. My Apple Health app showed this clearly. I'd wake up in my clothes, disoriented, with no memory of laying down. And then, I'd feel perfectly fine, no fever, no flu, just confusion. At the time, I blamed myself. I thought maybe I was burned out. Maybe I was working too hard. Maybe it was seasonal depression or stress. The last thing I wanted to believe was that someone I loved, someone feeding me every day, could be harming me. But it kept getting worse. I began having seizures. My vision started to blur. My lips and fingertips were blue. I felt like I was dying, and no one around me seemed alarmed. That was the scariest part. They brushed it off, told me I was tired or emotional. When I finally called an ambulance, it wasn't because I understood what was happening. It was because my body gave out, and I couldn't see anymore. Only in the final days, when my intuition screamed loud enough to get through the fog, did I begin to realize the truth. I tested my instincts by observing the one thing that hadn't made sense: a frozen drink, a Slurpee, that this family member brought me. I set it on the counter. I forgot about it. And 8 hours later, it hadn't melted. At all. That's when my stomach dropped. That's when I knew, no more excuses. That's the reality many TIs face. You don't want to believe it. So you rationalize the symptoms. You blame stress. You assume the worst of yourself and the best of them. But it's not just psychological, it's ritual. And the food is the entry point. Now let's go deeper into why food is used. 1. Food as a submission ritual. In bloodline families, meals are often the centerpiece of programming. You're guilted into sitting down, forced to eat what's served, pressured to smile and play nice while your body deteriorates. Why? Because it's not just about nourishment. It's about control. Who serves, who eats, who gets more, who leaves the table. These are all ritual roles, and your participation, even when silent, is considered consent. They rely on you feeling too polite to question what's being served. They prey on your manners to keep the cycle intact. 2. Food as tracking. Many TIs don't realize that food can be laced with substances that allow for biometric monitoring. Even low doses of certain pharmaceuticals or metals can alter your sleep, bowel movements, hormone cycles, or spiritual sensitivity. And those alterations are tracked, sometimes with your phone nearby, sometimes through wearables, sometimes just through observation. They'll notice you sleep longer after certain meals, that you cry more, that your intuition dulls, and they'll adjust the dose accordingly. You become your own biolab, and they're running the experiment. 3. Food as suppression. If you are psychic, empathic, prophetic, or spiritually gifted, the fastest way to dull your senses is through the gut. Most people don't realize the gut is where your second brain lives. It's where your intuition signals first. When that system is inflamed, drugged, or blocked, your downloads get garbled, your dreams stop, your discernment falters, you're no longer spiritually online. And for handlers, that's ideal. 4. Food as emotional manipulation. Let me cook for you. You never come over for dinner anymore. We were just trying to help. Food is used as leverage, as guilt, as a weapon disguised as a hug. If you try to distance yourself, they'll use food as the bait to reel you back in. And if you refuse to eat what they offer, you'll be made to feel crazy, rude, or ungrateful. That's not hospitality. That's coercion. 5. Food as energetic bonding. In ritual systems, the act of sharing a meal is binding. It creates a frequency loop. It says, we are one, I trust you, I accept this offering. And if you are being gang-stalked, if you are the family scapegoat or the black sheep trying to break free, that loop becomes a way to pull you back in. You may feel the need to eat what's offered even when your body resists. You may feel bad for skipping dinner, even though the food makes you sick. That's not guilt. That's programming. Let's look at common signs that your food may be compromised. You get sudden fatigue, nausea, or headaches after eating certain meals. You feel emotionally altered, sad, numb, or blank within 30 minutes of eating. You stop dreaming. Or your dreams become dark and confusing. Your periods become irregular, heavy, or disappear altogether. You experience stomach pain, bloating, or IBS-like symptoms only around certain people or meals. You begin to gain or lose weight rapidly, with no change in diet or exercise. You find yourself craving the same comfort foods, especially those made by someone else. You have memory gaps, lost time, or dissociation that aligns with specific meals. If these resonate, it's time to investigate further. So what can you do? 1. Stop eating anything you didn't prepare. This is not paranoia, it's protection. If you are healing, awakening, or under attack, you must control what goes into your body. 2. Don't feel guilty for saying no. You are not rude for declining food. You are not selfish for fasting. You are not disrespectful for putting your safety first. Anyone who shames you for it is showing you their alignment. 3. Watch what happens when you stop eating with them. Do they lash out? Do they withhold affection? Do they guilt trip you? That reaction is data. Document it. 4. Cleanse your space. If you suspect your kitchen has been compromised, clean with intention. Throw out old food. Discard anything gifted that doesn't feel right. Pray over your space. Reset the energy. 5. Listen to your body, not your programming. Your body knows. If your stomach flips at a dish that used to be your favorite, pay attention. If your heart races after a drink, take it seriously. Your body is trying to warn you. 6. Fast when needed. Fasting is not just for health, it's for clarity. If your field is clouded, fast. If your intuition is blocked, fast. If you feel confused, fast. Even one day can clear the fog. 7. Start over. Reclaim your body. Cook your own meals. Say grace out loud. Bless your food. Break the contract. Rewrite the bond. This is not about becoming afraid of every forkful. It's about becoming aware. Because food is energy. And when you're a TI, they will try to control that energy every way they can. But you're not just a body to be fed. You are a soul to be nourished. And no one, not even your family, gets to feed on you while pretending to feed you. Not anymore. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and what you just watched is part of my signature program, the Chosen One series inside School of Soul. This series is not just a course, it's a blueprint for those who know they were different from the start. The black sheep, the scapegoat, the truth teller, the cycle breaker. Inside, you'll discover the family roles playbook, the golden child, the scapegoat, the enabler, the lost child, and how to finally step out of the part you were cast in without consent. How the black sheep becomes the goat, turning rejection into radical transformation and leadership. How to break generational curses and rewrite ancestral contracts so the pain stops with you. And how to recognize and escape modern forms of spiritual and technological targeting, from gang stalking to synthetic synchronicity. This isn't just about survival. It's about awakening, about reclaiming your voice, your lineage, and your destiny as one of the chosen ones. Click the link below to access the full series now, because the role ends the moment you decide it does, and the real script begins with you.